Yes. It's the Patio Politicz. It's your man J5TH, the indomitable Jade, the beautiful medicine woman Shanga, Sir Mac, aka Mac Attack.
You could have saved me for the last. I mean, get all these women.
Mac Attack.
Get all these women out the way.
D-Dub Destiny, man.
What's up?
I
got a fan of the Mac Attack right next to me, so you know I'm in good graces. She said
Des ain't kicking and screaming.
Nah, she ain't kicking and screaming. She said if you
she's gonna sacrifice herself to stab it out for you. Sis said just go for what you know.
I ain't gonna make you want to punch me though.
Nah, that's the swinging. She said that. When enough is enough, you getting socked in your head, man.
Hey, you think I ain't gonna lift up a thigh?
The punching move.
I'm gonna lift up a thigh like.
It's the punching move.
I'm gonna lift up a thigh like you missed.
You know what? Power Ranger style.
But thank y'all for tapping in, man. It's the Patio Politicz. We back, man. Great evening.
Yeah.
Great AM, across the planet, man. We here, we live, and we got a dope, incredible show today, man.
Yes.
What? Go on and say what you want to wait, or you want to talk about it?
Let's just. Can we jump right into this?
Let's get it. We can.
All right, the ladies are here.
Yes, let's jump into it.
Live and direct.
The Patio Politicz.
Yes,
this is interesting.
And the question at hand today, ladies, is: do you believe a toxic mother has more influence on a child's life than an absent father?
No.
I'm going to say that one more time. Do you believe a toxic mother has more influence on a child's life than an absent father?
I want them and us to ponder on that while we do this thing.
Take a little break?
Yeah, just the thing.
Like that.
That's hard for me. I come from a totally different atmosphere. I don't know.
That's all right.
That's okay. That's okay.
I can touch on it.
For sure.
Get into it.
But think about that. We'll be back after this.
We hope you stay a while, 'cause it's right up for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. 'Cause it's right up for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, yeah. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. I said it's right up for life. Come in with the shows that you like. We trying to be the best on the mic. DJ playing cuts that you like, yeah. It could be the start of your day, or maybe just the end of your night. But if you rock it with us, Patio Politicz is gonna do you right. Oh, 'cause it's right up for life. Trying to be part of your life, yeah. We got whatever you like. Whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. 'Cause it's right up for life. Oh, trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. We hope you stay a while.
You are now rocking with the Patio Politicz.
Yes.
Yo.
Hey.
Man, we on.
Wagwan, what y'all deal with?
Yes.
We are back.
What y'all blood clot
The
deal
Patio
with?
Politicz, and the
Well, with
ladies
that
are at the
question,
table. Yes.
I want to know if it's a matter of the role of the parent or just the person themselves as the individual.
Okay. Now we're gonna get into that. Now, when we had these discussions, what are they called, Matt?
Under the patio.
Underneath the patio.
Underneath the patio.
That shit under the house?
We
Under
in
the house.
Get up under
That
there.
icky shit
Yes.
that people don't really want to
She
fuck
wanna
with.
call
But you got to get up under there to
it.
fix the shit
Foundation.
in the
Got
house.
to.
Exactly.
That's it. That's
Exactly.
it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got to
That's
get
where
up in
we
there
at.
and see what the
Now-
problem is.
now-
Get fixing it.
Now, all these conversations are solution based. So even if someone disagrees with you, that don't mean that we're still not working towards
A solution.
and resolution towards it all.
Ashe.
Because we got to fix this shit for our people.
Yes, we do.
And we got to talk about the shit our parents didn't talk about.
Or
Real
didn't
shit.
have the capacity to talk about
That
it because
part.
they
Yeah,
weren't given
definitely.
Exactly.
the tools to be
Come on.
able to know how to do it.
Yeah, that part.
Go
Or
ahead.
they were
No,
given
no,
the
no.
tools that took
Please.
them away from being able to explain or be there properly.
Yeah.
Well, the same way they told us, shut up, sit down, don't speak unless spoken to.
They were taught
They
that.
was told the
They
same
was
thing.
they were
were
just
taught that.
repeating the same shit that
Same
was done to
structure.
them, that their parents was done to them, that
Without
was done
question.
to them.
Without
right?
question.
We just happen to be the generation Gen X in the building.
Yo,
yes,
man.
That was able to break away from
Come
that.
on.
Like, hold on. You mean that you working a job for 40 years?
Come on.
I'm like, man, I can't see being here more than 3 or 4 years.
That
Fuck
part.
out of here.
That
2 or
part.
5 hours.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
part.
25 hours.
2 or 5 hours.
You get what I'm
Depends on
saying,
how-
though?
Nah,
like,
real shit, real
our
shit.
parents,
Speak on it.
our parents did the best
That
they
they
could
could
with
with
what
what
they
they
had
had.
What
and
they
what
had.
they had.
That's
What
And
they had.
as a parent that was a teenager,
Yes.
I had my first child at 17 years old.
Yes.
I didn't know shit, nigga. I was still in high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I got a baby? I don't know shit. I need to figure out how to know shit.
I'ma do this.
Because if I don't know shit, I can't teach her
Yep.
anything.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it gave me a different level of like responsibility that nobody had to tell me.
Yeah.
It's because I care for my child.
Yeah.
That's
Now
the
our
key.
parents, they were just on some like, just do the stuff.
Yes.
Do the
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I was able to be like, nah, I can reason with my child.
Yeah.
I let my child
I can have
challenge me.
conversations with my
I
child.
let my child go, Mommy, you said that you're
Yeah.
not supposed to, and I'm like, I'm not. Be quiet.
Yeah.
Don't you
Stay in the child's
Close
place.
that door. You're not closing the door.
No, I'm not closing the door.
Yeah, real shit.
I'm leaving the gate open.
Open
Asha.
for
I'm
conversation.
I'm leaving the gate open. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what, baby girl, you right.
right.
Mama did say
on.
I
That's
shouldn't
right.
do that. And now I'm able to check myself in front of my child
That's right.
in that moment. And now she has a power of her voice.
Accountability.
Of accountability. I was about
with
to say
her
that.
own mother.
Yes. Yes.
With her own mother.
Yes.
I didn't have that with my parents.
Yeah.
But I broke the
Likewise.
curse and I was
Come on.
able
Come
to
on.
do it with my child.
I say.
Yeah.
So, adopt me, I say.
That's
Adopt
it.
me, I say.
Come on, man. Come on. Shit. Yeah, it's gonna be one of them conversations.
So for me, going back to the question, do you believe a toxic mother has more influence on a child's life than an absent father? And I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Because one of those is a reality while one of those is fantasy. An absent father, you get to in your mind create what that relationship would look like if he were around.
Yeah.
You get to create in your mind what it is that you would be receiving from that relationship, and 9 times out of 10, in my personal opinion, you're going to create the opposite of whatever it is that you see in the present parent that you don't care for. As a mother, being the nurturer, right, being the one to initially start to help grow you up, she has a more pivotal position to play in the earlier years of your life. And so if your mother is operating in unfortunate situations or energy and circumstances, you are going to be more affected by that versus the parent who is absent. Now, you could switch it around and say, is a toxic father detrimental to a child more than an absent mother? And the answer would still be the same. It's going to be yes.
Yeah.
Because whatever you're experiencing in your day to day is going to weigh in more on what you're not. My father was not a present father all 18 years of my life in the beginning. I always knew who my father was, but he was not actively present all the time.
Yeah.
Which means that at some point I got to romanticize what it would be like to have my father
If he
in
was
place.
there.
And what happened is in that romanticism, I created in my mind what our relationship would be based on from what my mother and I's relationship was not based on. So if I felt like my mother wasn't hugging me and loving me or showing me that actively, then in my mind, I'm romanticizing that if my dad was around, he would be doing those things.
And would that be the fantasy portion?
And that's the fantasy
Got you.
portion of it.
Got you.
Because
Can I
the
add something, please?
Yes,
I don't
please.
mean to interrupt, but like
Go for it.
I'm hearing
I
what you're
felt it.
saying.
I felt it. Yes.
And for me, like, I had both my parents at a certain age, and then they divorced, right? But like, you know what I mean? Like, even though I had both my parents, my father was more engaged with me than my mother.
Yeah. So
My
would
mother was there, but she wasn't engaging.
Yeah. So would you say Pops played both roles?
Yes, and I'm also saying that even with him being the most influential, I still didn't get affection from it. I was in a 2-parent home and didn't receive any fucking affection from neither one of these niggas.
And that's why
I can count on one hand of my entire fucking childhood. My parents telling me that they love me.
Wow.
Come on, sis.
When I tried to hug them,
Come
it's
on,
like,
sis. Come on, sis.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or I try to plop down in their lap and
Yep.
it's like,
Hey, in all of my
I was
life.
constantly being rejected. I went to my father to get
Come
affection. He was like, nah, get that out of here. And I was like, okay, let me go to my mom.
Yeah.
And she's like, nah, get that out of here. Go to your room.
Yeah.
I can never remember at all trying to sit in my mother's lap.
Same.
I cannot remember that.
Same.
As a child, as a young adult,
Yeah.
at all, ever trying that.
Yeah. Wow.
Real shit.
Right. And you'll be surprised at how many people really go through life knowing that they've never had that experience with their child. Not even the child actually knowing, remembering all these things, but the parent still has no recollection
Of that
they don't remember.
interaction.
I asked my
At
mama
all.
now.
It's not the remembrance. It's the fact that they know that they haven't done it. They know.
Yes.
Is it that they
have
don't want to
not
talk about it?
They don't.
shown-
They don't.
It's the vulnerability
Yeah.
of being able to be
And they don't know what that feels like to be transparent.
Yes.
It's
No,
easy
they
to
don't.
say, "Oh, I don't remember that. I
Yep.
don't remember," because once
And
I
that's
started
the
bringing
standard
up stuff,
answer.
Then they can just
I don't
step
remember
away.
that.
Yeah. Deflated. Wow.
Like,
Now here's the difference, or what got tricky for me, because I grew up primarily with my mother. Like I said, I knew who my father was, but he wasn't always present.
Okay.
When I was about 17 years old, the summer before I went to college, I lived with my father. And my father made me the most uncomfortable that he's ever made me in my life. And you want to know why that was?
Why?
Because my dad was an affectionate father. I lived with my dad for a summer. I've only lived with my dad one time in my life, and that was the summer before college. My dad would hug me damn near every night before we went to sleep. And I would tell him, Dad, like, come on,
I'm
bro,
too old.
get off of me. Like
it
it's
was
just
a too old
uncomfortable.
situation.
It's
That was
just
because you wasn't
uncomfortable.
familiar.
Because
Yeah.
it was not familiar
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Got you.
To this day,
Yeah.
I'm grateful to my father, because had that not happened, the night before my mother died, I would not have been in a comfortable enough place to even tell my mother I love her.
Yeah.
Because as a kid,
Yeah.
I do not remember verbally saying to my mother at any time, I love you. And unfortunately, I cannot pull out of my mind a memory where my mother said, I love you too, except for the night before she died.
Wow.
And I attribute that to my interactions with my father at that one time during the summertime, because he made me feel comfortable. I had no choice.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, get off me. He like, girl, I'm hugging my daughter. I love you.
Yeah.
And so I got comfortable enough to start saying it to my siblings, and ultimately to start saying it to my mother, to where she started to say it back.
Yeah.
Had I never had that experience with my dad, my mother would have died, and that wouldn't have been those are my last words to my
Breaking
mother.
the chain for
Yeah.
real.
Wow. Wow.
Real talk.
Yeah. I believe.
Unfortunately, I cannot say a time that I remember actively sitting on my mother's lap.
Yeah.
I have a picture, or maybe two, when I was a little kid and I was sitting close to her, like up under her. You know what I'm saying? And that was before my other siblings came along. So that's 5 and under.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really don't genuinely have in my mind a moment where that was a thing.
Yeah.
And do I fault my mother for that? No, because she gave me what she had
that part.
And gave you what she knew.
and gave me what she knew.
Yeah.
And my job was to take what she gave me and either apply it or do
Build
something
from it.
different. Build from
Build
that.
around it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now my mother's no longer here. It's been 11 years.
Yeah.
One
Rest in
thing
peace.
that is easy for me to say to my siblings is I love you. What's easy for me to say to somebody that I care, including my father, I love you. But that came from that one summertime
Yeah.
in year 17
Year
of
17.
my life.
Wow.
year 17.
Yeah.
That's a world of a difference. That still means from 17 to what I was like 24, 25 when my mom died, it was still a very uncomfortable exchange of energy between me and my mother.
Yeah.
I had to be the one to fight against what was the norm between us to say, I love you, Mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's whichever parent is in play, if there's an absent parent, you're always going to romanticize that. But like Jade said, Jade had both parents, and it didn't come from either one of them. So then my question to you would be, sis, if you didn't have that exchange with either one of your parents, is that what made you the person that you are today? Because I know every time I see you hug me and you love on me. So is that the result of not having it, that you recognize that it was necessary?
Yes.
And I definitely have seen Jade with at least 2 of her daughters. You have 3 daughters, right?
2 daughters.
2 daughters. Okay.
2, yes.
I gave you one more. My bad.
Yes.
But
you actually tapping into my aborted child that I had before then, and we still gonna honor his energy.
Ashe. Come on. Come on. Where the bell at?
Yes. Big up to Trevante Valentino.
Yes, rest in peace.
Yes.
One thing I can say that I have seen, I've not been around Jade and her daughters for extended periods of time, but I feel very comfortable in saying that I'm sure that this woman has hugged her daughters.
Man, it's beautiful.
And I'm sure that they feel like at any given time I can go and have a conversation with my mother, and I bet you Jade didn't feel that way about her mother.
Yeah. You know why this is so, before we get into Destiny's perspective, this is so powerful because there are...
You're about to have me crying at the table.
Hey, man, you know what the patio do. Don't do that shit. Come on. You know what we do. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. This is transparency. This is breakthrough. This is what breakthrough feel like. But I was saying this is so powerful because you have a lot of fathers that are absent from their daughters.
And
not by choice, though. Because court...
Yes.
Because of the moms.
Yes.
And you got some fathers that feel it's been years, and when I see my daughter, she's gonna have resentment towards me.
Listen,
or I can't
let me
give
tell
her. You give.
Yes. Let me tell you something.
But to hear that's a testament.
Listen, my dad. Shout out to my daddy, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Speedy, man. Shout out to Speedy, man. Party boy.
And I'm grateful to be able to say this, and I welcome the emotion behind it. But
yes,
like I said, my dad was not a very consistently present parent for the first 18 years of my life. But from then till now, and I'm 37, me and my father has had the opportunity to build a relationship that affords us the opportunity to talk about things that people really don't want to talk about.
That part.
And I've had conversations with my dad where my dad has broken down in tears, recognizing that I left you in places and spaces where you needed me and I wasn't there.
Come on, accountability.
And because of that, we've been able to rectify and mend the relationship between a father and a daughter.
Yes.
And so at one point I used to call my dad like the best girlfriend that I never had. You know what I'm saying? Because me and my dad could dialogue about anything. And it's still that way to this day, and I'm grateful for that. But one thing that I experienced with my father was him feeling guilty.
Yeah.
For the time that he wasn't readily present for me all the time.
Yeah.
And I had to be the one to console my father.
Yes.
We've been standing in his house for Thanksgiving, and we're all in a circle holding hands, and my dad burst out into tears. And when I asked Dad what's wrong, he's just saying, baby, I wasn't there for you.
Yeah. That shit
We're
hurt,
having
man.
dialogue, and I'm hearing the things that you experienced, and I wasn't there for you. And it bothers me. And I had to actively in real time tell my dad, that don't even matter no more. Because I don't even live that life story no more. We here right now, and I'm holding hands with you, and we're in prayer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're about to have family dinner together. So that don't even matter. But he needed to be able to get that up off his spirit for us to be able to really have the bond that we have. To get that off. You know what I'm saying?
I know a lot of black men going through that,
It's fair. And when I had real dialogue with my dad, I'm like, Dad, like you could have went to the courts. You know what I'm saying? Like there's things that you could have done, and he's like, baby, on the one hand, I'm going to say that you're right. He said, but you have to remember that we didn't really know a lot of things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That really wasn't an avenue that we could take.
Yeah.
He's like, I knew where your mom was, and I know your mom and me, because my mom and my dad were friends.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad still has a nick in his kneecap or in his shin from my mom kicking him with Oxfords when they was like 8 or 9 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So my mom and my dad have grown up together. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it, on the part of the child, as I'm having this dialogue with my father, I'm telling him, Dad, I'm thankful for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm thankful that we can have the dialogue and we can be transparent. And I could tell you at one point, I just used to call you my sperm donor.
Yeah.
Because I was upset that my dad wasn't present and I'm going through the things that I'm going through. And it's like, again, that romanticized idea of what could be taking place if my dad was in place.
Yeah.
But he came in when I needed him to come in.
Yeah.
And the Most High created my story so that I would have the experiences that I had that would mold me into the woman that my dad got to meet.
Right.
Yeah.
And so at 37 years old, every now and then my dad says, baby, he always calls me baby girl. I'm going to be forever baby girl. You know what I'm saying? All my life.
Yeah.
And he's like, I see you. And I love the woman that I see before me.
Yeah.
You think outside the box. You have a heart just like your dad and your mother. And I appreciate my dad for that.
Yeah.
But if you would have asked me this 20 years ago,
It would have been
you would have gotten a different response from me.
Yeah, of course.
Because I didn't know that man like that. He was my dad, but I didn't really have a bond with him. All I knew was the toxicity. We're going to use that word today. The toxicity of the environment that I grew up in with my mother.
Okay.
But even that situation and that circumstance and that energy that I experienced with my mother trickled down from her own hurts and pains and not knowing how. My mother was a mother at 17. She got pregnant with me. She was 16. She had me when she was 17. I grew up with my mom.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And so as the child in the situation, what I recognize is at some point, we have to take accountability for our own actions and not keep saying, well, my mama didn't do and my dad didn't do. Because as an adult, you know the right things to do or the things that help you to progress. And you can either stay blaming your parents or you can be a better adult.
Take responsibility
and again, that's
for your
why
own action.
That's right. And that's why I said what I said about Jade and her daughters. Because Jade could have repeated that cycle. I have yet to have children, but I intend to do something completely different than what I experienced. But my sis sitting next to me recognized that I didn't get the chance to bond with my parents like that. And I refused to be a parent like that. Even at 17 with her first daughter, I'm sure in her mind, she was like, it's some shit that I don't know how to be a mom all the way, but I know for sure it's some shit that I'm not going to do.
Shit.
Yeah.
And that's why, thank you for the acknowledgement. Because that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I did recognize that these babies were dependent.
That's right.
On me because their sperm donors weren't around because I got 2 baby daddies.
Okay. That's all right now.
Don't judge me because I'm not going to let you.
If they judge you, fuck them.
Fuck them.
If they judge you, fuck them.
Come on, fuck them.
Fucking them, they would like that. So I ain't
walk away then.
I really did recognize at such a young age what I was missing. And I was like, the moment shit started coming up, I was like, ooh, this is that same shit that I felt. I don't want to treat my children like that. Right. I don't want my children to get to 17, 18 and feeling this way about me.
That's right.
So I was like, what can I do to fix it? I said, as long as they live, I'm going to hug them, kiss them, lift them up, squeeze them tight. I'm gonna, every time they're gonna plop in my lap and I'm gonna bounce them around, I'm gonna give them all the attention that my parents couldn't give me for whatever reason. I forgive them. I'm not mad at it anymore.
That's right.
They just couldn't give it. I was able to recognize what they couldn't do and I was able to do what they couldn't do. And that's breaking the fucking cycle.
Come on.
So that's why when you see me and my girls, and even that's what when I hug you, that's why it feels so like,
Yeah, nah, real
that's
shit.
not me being like a perv.
No, it's
I'm
real.
giving the love that I didn't have.
Come on, Jay.
And just because my daughters are 28 and 24, shout out to Sheree and Judah.
Shout out to the babies, man.
Shout out to my
babies.
sis Jay
Shout
for
out
not
to the
looking like she
baby.
got a baby that's almost
To the
30. Shout
golden-
out
the
to my
golden
sis,
one.
though, okay.
Like, and they were born on the same day, February 1st, 1994,
Shout out to the
February 1st,
Aquarius.
1998,
Are you
Aquarius.
kidding me?
I was birthed by an Aquarius. I birthed Aquariuses, and my nigga's an Aquarius.
That's
and his
magic.
birthday is on the same day as my mom.
That's magic.
Wow.
So weird.
That's
Come on.
magic.
No, it's not.
Can we align them?
Yeah, hell
Can you align everything?
It's all aligned, right? No, I'm not. So what I'm saying is, that's why I hug and hold people, because I feel like just because you're not a baby anymore doesn't mean
You're still my baby.
You shouldn't be
You shouldn't be embraced in love.
Real
in
shit.
love. And I'm not talking about my children. I'm talking
just in
about
general.
you.
Because you don't know who's got it and who hasn't.
When I hug, that's why I hug people both sides.
Man, come on
Like,
now.
and we all go for the right side, but I'm like, no, I need you to bring it in
Left and
on
right.
On the balance.
left where the heart is.
Man.
So when you hug me from the left side, my heart touching your
Your
heart,
heart, yeah.
and you gonna feel me.
Hey.
Come on, man. Look,
You gonna feel me.
shit. We gonna
take
go
a
ahead,
break.
Jess.
Right, because I'm not a hugger,
Yes,
but I hug intentionally.
that's it.
So if
This dude,
Oh,
Mac
look
attack.
at her. Look at her. Look how he leaned into that.
some people just don't know how to quit. But hugging for me is important because I'm allowing someone into my space.
That's right.
Yes.
So
That matters.
I'm always going to pour out the love that I think that they're seeking from me.
I
Come
always ask for
on.
consent. Like, I don't just
So
be
then-
grabbing people.
so then-
I be like a kid. I be like, I'm throwing it at you. If I already committed to the hug, do you want this hug?
So Des,
Do you want this hug?
so
If
Des,
not, it's okay. I'll keep it to myself.
so Des, before we go on break, because we got to get your perspective. So when a man hug and then he try to go in for a kiss, you just like you automatically like nigga.
Wow, I already. First of all, I had to mentally.
Prepare for
You know I'm
that.
fucking with you, Des.
I know, but I had to mentally prepare for that because I just don't allow people to touch me. And he is looking.
We going in for the kill in 2023.
Boundaries.
Hey, but we
Boundaries are important, and you should have them.
That's
getting
real
with it.
creepy life.
Boundaries are important, and you should have them.
That happened to me, a homeless dude in Laverne
Respect.
Park. That happened
Respect.
Always the homeless.
we gonna take a break.
They really be like, sis,
You're so
Hold on.
I
gorgeous.
want to be.
We gonna take a break real quick.
Can I get a?
More on the
about to
Patio
take a break.
Politics.
I know you know.
Dr. King, he was love. Malcolm X, he was love. Love in this business will get you killed. You have to set an example. You have to draw a line. When they see that line, and if they cross it, there will be hell to pay. They must know that.
¿Lo tienes?
You finna sit in this.
Yeah.
Come on.
You finna sit in this.
Yeah.
Come on.
You are
You being
now
disrespectful.
rocking with the
fuck that.
Patio
You're not-
Politics.
She's being disrespectful,
I've
not
been there.
hearing
No,
me.
Yeah,
because-
I've been there.
But you gotta think. Again.
You know what she
going
told
back
me?
Into what she said.
You know what she told me when I told her what happened to
Yeah.
me? When she passed me around and left me at this person's house and that person's house and thought I was in good company and didn't realize everybody was fucking with me everywhere she dropped me off at 4 years old. You know what her response was? Why didn't you say anything?
Why didn't you say anything?
I
Yep.
was
Like it was
Four.
my fucking
At 4
fault.
years
Yeah.
old.
that I got passed around to
You
everybody
don't
that
even know how to
you
explain
you
what is
can't
going
even
on.
admit
You know
that
that's the most common.
That you dropped the ball.
you dropped the fucking ball,
Yeah.
that you were the irresponsible person
And
in the
that's
moment,
okay, though.
and you're gonna put it on me.
As a
Yeah.
4-year-old.
Yeah.
Why,
That's a lot
as
of
my mother,
responsibility
are
for a
you not
4-year-old.
paying attention to who you're dropping me off with? And
That
why
part.
A lot
aren't
of
you, as my
responsibility.
mother, being able to recognize that my energy and my behavior
Yeah.
has changed?
Yeah.
And when you
She's
tell
not
me
even
I'm
paying
going over.
attention.
Exactly.
She's not even paying attention
Yeah.
to
Exactly.
how I'm different. Like when she dropped me off, how I'm like,
Yep.
You don't want to go.
I don't
Yeah.
really want to go. And she's
Man.
like, girl, quit tripping, girl.
Get
I
your
gotta
ass out the
go.
car.
She not paying attention.
Real talk.
And that's why.
And then
it's
as an
important,
adult,
man.
you
Man.
want to ask me, why
Why
didn't I
didn't
say
say
something?
And you know
So
what?
to the
That's a
question,
cop-out question.
Again,
thank you.
That's a cop out.
but not even
It is.
realizing,
Man.
again, our parents don't understand development.
Man,
Yeah.
real shit.
Critical thinking skills don't happen that early.
It not
Yeah.
there.
How are you going to
It's not there.
explain what actions are happening? Because you don't even know what that is.
What it is.
Yeah.
You just know it's something that's happening to you.
Uncomfortably. You know that
That's it.
this is not feeling good to me.
And listen, how about this? Because it gets even more tricky, and these are conversations I've had in spaces of social work. Because sometimes it doesn't always feel bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Sometimes.
it does feel good. But because you haven't had a dialogue with your child for them to understand their own boundaries
Man.
and
Right.
self-constitution,
You're right.
they don't even understand that something is happening to them that should not be
It's
happening.
Man.
Even though it feels good.
Or what
Even
about-
though it
It's too
feels-
early.
Exactly.
Or what
It's
about
too
the
early.
code names for our body parts?
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
stop teaching
We
your
have
kids.
to stop that. This is
that.
a penis and that's a vagina.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are they
Yeah.
supposed
It's
to
not
be
the
doing?
tie and the
no.
PP.
Because once they
and
tell
the-
somebody else off the street, this man been touching my cookies, well, tell him not to take your cookies no more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
cold
okay.
wording.
Anyway.
You hiding what the fuck is really
The kid
really
literally
going
said
on.
what you taught them, and
And
another
they're using
person
it.
outside of the circle doesn't even know what they're talking
And now what you've breeded is a child that's being abused. And now that feels like they truly have nobody, because sometimes children don't say anything at all because, like you said, they don't
Yeah.
even know how to think about it, how to process it.
Yeah.
But for the children who do know how to process it enough to say, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And
When
on
they-
top of that, they were threatened because I was
Ooh,
threatened.
come
Not
on.
only did I not know how to process it, but I was threatened to say, if you tell your mama, you gonna get in trouble.
See?
You gonna get your ass whooped.
Yep.
Or
It's a real
because
thing.
you're a
Or I'ma hurt
child.
your parent.
Or no,
I'm sorry, them
I'm gonna
motherfuckers
let the
need to go,
ghost
man.
out the closet.
Them
on part.
motherfuckers need to
And-
go,
Or
man.
I'm gonna let this snapping turtle bite the fuck out of you. And, as a
at
4
4
years
years old, that's
That's
you
a
traumatizing.
believe
real
that
threat.
Hell
That's
yeah,
a
you do.
real
Hell yeah, you
threat.
do.
That's
Hell
a
yeah, you
real
do.
threat.
They need to go, man.
So
That's
it's
Right.
both.
Yeah.
It's the threats
Yeah.
and the what you said.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, when we're
Man.
talking about the present parents, whether, and I think this goes back to a part of another Patio Politicz session that we had when we're talking about being aware
Yeah.
and being present. When you get into these spaces and situations where the parent is not for whatever the reason not able to be present
Yeah.
and not aware, they're checked out for whatever the reason, your community then becomes your go-to. But if you have no community, that child has no body.
Yeah.
So again, that perpetuates the romanticism of whatever parent is not in place.
Yeah.
You think they would protect you.
You think that they would protect you.
Yeah.
You think that they would protect you. Now it's going to be a sad day in the world if and when that parent comes around and they still don't protect you, because now you're saying, well, Mr. Johnny's touching my cookies, and that parent don't know that cookies is a substitute for your vagina.
Hello.
Yeah.
So they hear you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, like you said, tell them don't be touching your cookies. They can't touch your cookies. Tell them to buy their own cookies.
Yeah.
That child, I have a friend, and I love you. If you're hearing this, I love you and thank you for sharing your story with me. She said to me and my mom and my sister lived in a place with some of my mom's friends, and one of the men started touching me. I think she said she was between like 4 and 7.
Yeah.
And she said, when it started happening to me, she's like, it did feel good. It wasn't like an an aggressive situation. But I did recognize that it probably should not have been happening.
Yeah.
And so that baby, I ain't even called her a child. That's a baby.
Yeah.
That baby said in her mind, she said to me, she said, sis, I figured I would rather it be me than my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't say anything to my mom about it because I didn't want it to end up being my sister.
Right.
That's
so
trauma.
I figured that I would take that.
That's trauma.
You know what I'm saying? But that's also the experience that children have where they have to be an adult before it's time for them to be an adult.
And that's unfair.
And they're willing to sacrifice themselves for other people that they love.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
And that was her experience. Her experience was, I think she says she never told her mom. Her mom just died recently.
Ooh.
She never told her mother. She said it happened a few times and then it just stopped happening.
Yeah.
But she was okay with it happening to her so that it didn't happen to her sister.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of places and spaces that we end up putting our children in.
Yeah.
And because we haven't had dialogue with our children in vulnerable spaces to be able to open up that platform, our children are having to make very adult decisions.
Yeah.
That's going to cost them in the long run.
Yeah.
But in the immediate, they don't feel like it's costing them anything because they're saving the people that they love.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't tell your parent because you know that your mama is crazy and your daddy is crazy. And they not going to ask no questions. They're going to walk up and shoot a motherfucker in the head. And then I lost my parents.
Yeah.
So they're not going to say anything.
But these are the taboo things
that we have to break out of.
But it starts with us because even for men, it was a situation happened to me when I was 6.
Come on now.
And from that situation, yes, a lot of people don't know. Yes, it was a situation that happened playing clubhouse with boys.
That's the one, playing house.
Yes. An older boy did something to me that he shouldn't have. And my parents almost went to jail because of this shit. When I went and told them what happened. But from that situation, it never was talked about again.
Right.
Even till this day.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right.
But from that situation, it trickled over to older girls touching on me.
Yep.
And doing things that they shouldn't
Stop
do.
letting
Because
your
we do
friends
not
call
teach
your
our sons.
Man,
Can I
girl.
just say this is how I know how aligned this is?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
me and my partner just had this conversation.
Yeah.
He has no problem with me saying this.
Yeah.
Thank you, black man.
He just felt comfortable enough to be like, something happened to me when I was 6.
Come on, man. See?
And it was an older girl.
See?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything that you just said.
Man, come on.
And now
We don't talk about
it gave me my vision of like, I want an older woman.
Yep.
And not even realizing at such an early
Where it's coming
age,
from.
you're making decisions like
Come on.
that
Yes.
because of how you were impacted.
Come on.
At such a your genitals should not
Yes.
be activated.
No.
It's nothing wrong with the activation.
When
It's
it
just it
happens
shouldn't be
naturally.
happening so soon.
Yeah.
I had a friend who's
Yeah.
a male who told me
Yeah.
he didn't even pull the memory out of his mind until we were living together. And this is just a platonic friend. We just so happen to live together. He said, Nika, you know, the conversation we had the other day, in my meditation, it popped up into my mind and I realized that I was taken advantage of as a little boy. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, because I was always taught as a boy that it's a woman's right to choose. And because there was no detail in that conversation, they just simply left it at it's the woman's right to choose.
Yeah.
When this older girl chose me, I thought that this was how it was supposed to go.
Yeah.
But I now realize that I was being molested as a child and
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yes.
And when he
Yes.
said that to me, it sunk so deep into my soul because I recognized that the truth he was speaking is a truth of a lot of young boys walking around.
A lot.
Because people typically
A lot. 3 out of
talk
5.
to young boys about
I didn't know
don't
those
do
stats.
this to a
Yes.
woman. And the woman is, you know, she has the right to say yes or no, but nobody ever touches on the fact that a young boy has the right to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then when you get into, I'm going to use the word again, even though I don't like to throw it around too much. When you get into toxic
Yeah.
masculine or feminine energy, but I'm just going to talk on the masculine. You have now a young boy who's been touched young.
Yeah.
Who's now about 13 or 14, maybe 12 or 11, depending on the men around him. And what those men are saying to him is they're either introducing sex to him by bringing a older woman for him to fondle and or have sex with, or they're having conversations with him and they're saying to him, this is okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You're 13 and she's 17. It's okay because you a man.
Yeah.
And then when you get to a man that's 28, 29, 30, 34, and 40 years old, where they finally have a place and space to start processing something with a woman that really loves him and really is listening to him. And she's made it a comfortable space for him to be able to start to talk about and process. And he like, damn, I didn't even realize I was raped.
Yeah.
I was raped, even though at the moment I gave consent, I was giving consent under false pretenses. So this older woman, that's my teacher, that was 30 years old, and I was 17 or I was 16 or I was 13, the men around me told me that was cool.
Yeah.
That's what made me a man.
That's what made me a man. But in all actuality, it cheated that young man out of so many things. And I guarantee you, he's a young man that's dropping dick off wherever he can drop dick off at, because that's what he's been taught.
Yeah, he's promiscuous.
What manhood is.
Yeah.
What manhood is.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother conversation for another topic, because what does manhood look like?
Right.
And it's not determined about how many vaginas your dick get to enter.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And that's why when you get into spaces and places where a man has
about
a
controlling
small
yourself.
Come on.
Thank you.
Self-control.
That's why when you get into a place where a man has a small penis and a woman is like, sis right here, and she's like, well, I'm gonna tell you that you didn't work it out well, it eats his soul. Because people have already taught him from 11 on up that what you got between your legs is what makes you a man. So when she tell you, bro, you're not serving me up right, you have just chopped that man down from 6 feet tall to about 2 inches.
Well, not only that, we already chopped down because we don't have the space in the venting portal as women do.
How about men don't even realize they need the venting space?
We do.
Portal.
We do.
Okay.
Listen, you're a 30-something-year-old man, though.
I hear
but
both.
a 16-year-old don't even recognize that he needs that yet.
Yeah.
Unless he's around men like the men in this room who are having conversations that are not typical to a room full of men.
And that's what we got to change that shit.
And that's what we doing here on the Patio Politics.
I would love to hear these type of conversations. At Free-O-Lay, at
The
Youth
chip
Justice
place?
Coalition, we have a school, and we deal with a lot of system impacted young men, black and brown.
Yeah.
They're gangbangers. They own paper.
They have the
parole.
stories.
They in the streets. They coming out the streets. Don't want to be a part of the streets, but feel pressured to be a part of it.
Okay.
LAUSD have kicked them out, and we are their
Gave up on
last
them.
step
Gave up
to
on
get an accredited high school diploma. So a lot of the teachers and the people in the space are also system impacted.
Yes.
But we've grown past that shit.
Yeah.
So we have a sensitivity.
Yep.
And we have a thing every Friday with our students. It's called Street University.
Ooh, I like it.
And we have men's circle and we have women's circle. Women's circle is easy.
Yeah.
The men's circle.
Come on, sis. Come on,
difficult.
Jade.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
And that's why my sis, what did she call herself? MK?
MX.
MX.
Yeah.
I was an M. I knew it was an M in there. And she was like, oh yeah, I know about Chukos. The Fruit of Islam be out there. I'm like, I know. We just recently got the Fruit of Islam elders in there to come talk to these niggas.
Yeah.
There was a shooting outside the space.
Come on, sis.
Yeah.
And we're like, how can we reach them?
Yeah.
And so these type of conversations, I think, as a community organizer and a builder and a connector, I would love to bring at some point patio poetry to Street University.
Yeah.
To give our youth the opportunity to be comfortable.
That's what I'm saying.
And
they need that.
lightweight, like start with the light subjects.
They need that,
and then build to the deeper shit. Because you got to build trust first.
Right.
You got to build
trust.
trust.
You have to build a union amongst each other as well.
I'm speaking as a man that used to be a young man. It starts with transparency, and I'm speaking from a place.
Other people older than you being willing to open it up and speak
and tell the fucking truth.
Tell the truth.
Unfiltered truth.
Yeah.
When I worked at a placement, a group home, same type of young men, I was the only one able to reach them without a AA, a BA, a fucking doctorate. Because I was transparent. So when they say, Jay, you don't understand. You don't know what it's like to be touched on. Yes, I do.
Shit, yes, I do.
Now I got their attention.
Yep.
You, Jay?
That is what has made me, listen,
now
that has what has made some of my clients have told me that is what has made me their favorite therapist.
Yeah.
That is what has brought them back to my table, to my room, because they said, sis, I feel like I can be myself with you. I feel like you understand, because I'm willing to share with them my stories. Now, did I learn that in school? Fuck no.
Hell no.
My school said it's black or it's yellow or it's white.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that I live in the gray.
In the gray.
I live in the gray.
Yeah.
So when I get in front of my clients, when I've gotten in front of my clients, I do not steer away from sharing my personal experience, because that's what shows you that I'm as human as you.
Real
and
talk.
the one thing that I've consistently said to my clients, I don't like to call them clients, but for the sake of conversation, I'm going to call them clients. What I've consistently said to my clients is, baby, I'm not the expert here. The only expert I am is of my own life.
Yeah.
You are the expert. You are the expert of your life.
Yeah.
I am simply here to be a sounding board, to be a space where you feel like you can say those things that you never got a chance to say
facilitate
before.
your healing.
To facilitate your healing.
Yeah.
I am not your healer.
And that's
you
what
are
they
your
need.
own healer.
That's what these brothers need.
And that's what we
Black
do
and
in the
brown.
Temescali.
Yeah.
That's what we do in the Temescali.
That's what
in
we're doing.
Desert Hot Springs, in our wellness center, in our wellness space. We provide that space where people can sit in the darkness in a group.
Yeah.
And we can sweat and you can talk it out. You can cry it out. I love to hear what's happening at Street University, and I would be honored to be able to be there. So give me a date and a time.
You're welcome.
And I'm there, because
you let me know your availability, and I'm gonna make it happen as executive director.
I'm free.
Come on.
I can make whatever the fuck need to happen.
Because these are the things that we actually need to really be talking about. And all it takes, this is the one thing that people always tend to forget, at least from my experience with children, especially children that have gone through the system.
Yeah.
People forget that these children are still children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care how hard they are or how hard they may seem.
Yeah.
I don't care how many times they've been in and out of any type of institution. They are still children.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what they need most of all, before anything else, is an adult that they feel like is listening to them.
That part.
Yes.
That they can relate
that
to.
They feel
That
like
part.
they can
relate to.
Thank
That part.
you.
Because I'm that adult at Chuco.
Yes.
I believe
of
that.
course.
So when I tell you we have system impacted students, nigga, I'm a system impacted youth that became an adult and overcame all that.
Real shit. Real shit.
And
I was a foster care. I was molested. I was in the streets.
Yes.
I was in foster care. I went to a continuation school. I was pregnant in high school. In the same high school that we have girls that are pregnant and bring their babies. That was me.
Yeah, so you
So
know.
I'm able to relate to all of that shit.
And they feel more comfortable talking to you
Yes.
than a motherfucker that just came out of college with a master's, a
That part.
PhD, or
The
anything
book ain't
else.
gonna tell you everything.
And that is why I don't throw around the letters that I accumulated in the collegiate institution.
Yeah.
When I talk
They
to
don't give a
people,
fuck
I
about
tell
that.
They
them
don't even
all
know what it
day
mean half the
long.
time.
They
When
don't
I
give a fuck
have
about
conversations with people and they ask me, how did you get here? I tell them I was born and raised in a hood.
I've been here.
seen things and I experienced things that nobody else has ever experienced. And so that's what got me here. It's not me sitting in a classroom space and taking notes and being able to answer some questions on a quiz to get an A on a test. My A on a test came from the streets. My A on a test came from my family and the experience experience that we embodied as a family, as a unit, and as a community. That's what's going to make the difference. And that's what makes the difference between a Jade sitting across from you versus a Sarah.
Yeah. Now listen, let me say this before we go on break, because we still got to get Des' perspective.
Oh,
No,
wow.
no, it's all good. It's
I
all
took
good.
up a lot of space.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
And so did you.
Yeah,
I
listen.
couldn't hardly get a word out of fucking edgewise, but you
listen.
speaking wisdom. No,
But we have to be people. We have to be more available than the streets, and I'm saying this to the people out there.
Now.
Yeah.
Y'all can talk that shit, but you gotta walk it. The streets is available 24 hours a day,
And
that's
Come
where
on now.
That's where they're taking their
Come on
venting,
now.
their
Streets gonna be
anger, their pain, and their hurt. But we gotta be more available than the streets, y'all.
And
Real
that
shit.
means the
That's why I
parents
do
too.
agree.
Don't
The
run to the
parents
streets.
too.
Please.
Come on.
I don't beg for too much of nothing, but definitely be available more than the streets.
More than the streets. And the streets don't love no motherfucking body.
At
I'm
all.
telling y'all now.
Don't have
Anybody
no
can
love.
get it.
Listening to y'all, we all got different stories, and it's almost like I don't even want to touch on mine because it ain't familiar to none of y'all's, and it's just
Shit,
like listening
but
to the
bring it
way
to the
y'all
table,
pour it
though.
It's all
in and everything.
familiar.
It's
still
different,
valid.
but there's
But
a
it's still
similar
there.
thread,
There's a
though.
thread.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
String
That's
theory.
it.
Y'all,
Yeah.
when you get a chance
Yeah.
and you have some time and space,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you something as a behavioral scientist.
Come on.
Look up string theory.
Because that's
String
a real thing.
Yeah.
Just Google it and go to town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look into it.
Yeah.
The basis of string theory is that no matter how far apart everything is,
It's still coming.
everything is connected.
And that's why string
There it is.
theory is how we all got to this table
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And divine purpose.
Yeah.
And on that note, we're going to take a
Adopt me,
quick
I
break.
say.
And we're going to be back with some more deep shit on the Patio Politics. Yes, yes. I'm through with all that gang banging shit. I ain't ever going back to the pen.
If y'all two were together, y'all had each other's back.
What you gonna do now that you're gone?
We could do it like how we used to do it in the old times.
I'm about to make a change on some serious shit.
Ready, go?
Ready for what?
Get in, my nigga.
Tag your man.
You are now rocking with the Patio Politics.
And the ladies are in the building, and we are popping it off. You know what I'm saying? Let me say to y'all ladies, I ain't never seen Mac so quiet. Okay? In all the years I've known Mac, I ain't seen baby so quiet.
It's different.
But you know what? Sometimes that's what happens when the ladies get together. You know what I'm saying?
When the goddesses manifest.
We bring that flow through here that sometimes people just got to sit around, sit off to the side
And witness.
I mean, I'm
and
just
witness what's
open.
happening.
I'm receiving.
I get it.
It's a lot of
I get
different
it.
stories
Thank you for saying
going on and being
That's
told.
how you- that's
different
how
from
you was
mine.
Hey, but you know
Yeah.
what? Here's
By
the thing.
reception.
Here's the thing, though, Mac. I definitely want you to take the opportunity, or at least I will for you that you take the opportunity to share your story, because your story is different, I'm sure, in some ways. But like Sis said before we went to the break, there's a string theory that connects us all.
And I definitely believe
You know what I'm saying? And so this is a healing space, and my truest heart's manifestation is that everybody that's in this room and every person who's in ear's frequency of what we're speaking is able to receive something from that. And sometimes it's not sharing your story, but just being able to have the solace and understanding that somebody else can understand me.
That part.
You know what I'm
that
saying?
you aren't the only one. You're not alone.
Yeah.
Like, even though you feel like when you had your experience, like we did, it feels like, oh, this is just happening to me. It isn't until you talk to other people and you're like, damn, that should happen to you.
Yeah.
That happened to you. That happened to you. Oh, damn. So this
you're not the
ain't
only
just
one.
me.
Yeah.
You're really not alone.
Yeah.
But that's what we have to connect, right? With the string theory.
That's right.
Because nothing is untouched.
That's right.
Nothing.
No matter how far apart shit is, everything
right there next door. That's why I'm gonna
and
sit
all
here
you
with my
it's
mouth
like
closed.
a spider, like a Nancy. and being able to, it creates the web.
Yeah.
So it's able to crawl through and connect to whatever it needs to connect to.
Message. Come on.
Come to mind. And I'm going to say that and I'm going to sit down.
Des.
Now
what's
talk is finished.
Well, going back to the reasons why I asked certain questions about the role of the person in that child's life. Because going back to my mother, she's a wonderful person.
Yeah. Shout out to mom.
Shout out
She
to mom.
has had
Big up, Momsy.
Shout out to mom.
parenting. Thank
Poor
God for
parenting.
grandparents.
Okay.
That's a role
That's a word
that
right
most
there.
people do not get to find, that their parent was raised by their grandparent because they had an absent parent.
Yeah.
Believe me, my grandmother worked hard.
Yes.
She
Shout out to
ran the household.
Yes.
Divorced.
Come on.
2 children. Broke as hell, as she would say.
Surviving.
But she still has not come to pass that she was not a part of my mother's life and chose her other child.
Yeah.
So that goes to say that even though my mother had poor parenting, did not know her father, she chose to choose a partner that she felt like would be a great parent to assist her.
Yeah, that part.
And still to this day, they are great parents
Yeah.
and friends. No longer partners. He is remarried with other children. But they know how to
So mom's still
adapt.
single.
Yes, she is. Yep.
323.
And I probably might not allow her to get another relationship because I don't play by my
You
mama.
ain't stopping now.
I know
Okay.
that.
Okay? I do not play by my mom.
323.
Yes.
So, it goes to show most of the time for people who have already recognized that their parent ain't shit,
Yeah.
they have come to understand I'm an individual and so is that person.
That's the one.
People forget. Before your parent became your parent,
They was
a person.
a man or a woman dealing when they.
But
in
it's
their own
not
stuff.
fair to the child. It's still not fair to the child.
Yeah.
So when you have absent parents and a toxic parent, there should be a village.
Yes.
That part.
There should be someone holding those people accountable.
Yes.
Because the dropping off to certain people, or I need somebody to watch my baby because I gotta go to this Halloween party. I gotta go and do stuff with my boyfriend. Let me cook a meal for my boyfriend before I cater to my child.
Man,
come on, sis.
Come on.
So
Come on, sis.
again,
Come on now.
Speak on that.
the behavior has
shit
to
about
be
to get ugly.
corrected
It has to be.
by the people around you or them.
Because if it doesn't get corrected by the people around them, then it becomes the responsibility of the other people around them.
Yeah.
And even though you have other people in place that are willing to step in, you still have a parent who's functioning outside of the realm of a parent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Let me
they
give you
never
an
get
example.
it corrected.
Let me give you an example of some village shit,
Yeah.
like where the responsibility goes beyond the parent. It's like when I was 17, I had my daughter, and I was like, this baby ain't gonna stop me from doing shit. I'm still gonna hotbox. I'm still gonna smoke. I'm still gonna hang out. And when I would hang out with my baby with me, the
least you had your
village,
baby
the
with you,
village
I'm
was
just
like,
saying.
the village was like,
Excuse me.
shouldn't you
motherfucking
go
baby in the
home?
house.
Right.
Don't you need to take that baby in the house? And I'll be like, are you my baby daddy?
Accountable.
It's
Why you
bad.
in my
Do you pay for my
business?
Pampers? Do you buy her milk? Shut the fuck up then. But it was still people around me that was like,
yeah.
Like,
it's
that's
kind
not
of
it,
late.
sis.
It's
And they feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
partying because there's like, damn,
They
it's
know
a
this is
baby
happening.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the village
That's the
taking
village.
care of the
Do you
child that's not
understand
their child.
the point of a
Yeah.
baby shower? Do you understand the point
Come
of
on.
a baby shower?
Come on,
Yeah.
sis.
A lot of people think it's just a party with gifts.
They think it's a place to spend over $5,000,
Woo!
look lavish,
Way too much money.
all these. Believe me, I've
wish.
coordinated parties where my pay was $5,000,
Fast.
Damn,
and they
that's-
still have another portion that they have to pay to all these other vendors. So
A baby
believe
shower?
me, a baby shower.
Crazy.
So again,
Ain't no way, boy.
Damn.
Ain't no way, boy.
Going back to the look of it all, people like a package
Yes, they do. That looks good.
that looks good.
Rotten on the inside.
5,000?
So all those people at your baby showers, only a handful of people I know that have done a speech and said, if I were to die tomorrow, y'all better
get on my child. That's right.
It's like the godparent shit.
It
Real
is.
shit.
It's an extended
It's an extended It's a village.
Yes.
A village, yes.
You all came to this baby shower for what?
To care about this new child coming into the world.
So why do y'all forget about the baby after the party is over?
Exactly.
It's not just gifts and registering at Target and wherever else.
Real quick, because I want to make sure that we afford Mac the opportunity to jump in here. But I just wanted to say real quick, that's again the opportunity for vulnerability, because the world has said to mothers that you are to just do this by yourself. And so they have taken on that badge one way or the other, whether in comfort or discomfort, they've taken on that badge without recognizing that you will never be able to fully be an effective parent if you don't have a village. Even if it's a mom and a dad, they still need a village to be able to help secure that child. And people are we have forgotten that, and we've gotten away from that. And so I'm appreciative to spaces like the Patio Politicz, where we can come together and we can acknowledge and say that we know what's missing, and we are actively doing something to change that. Jade talking about the children in the street university, and the only thing that I'm thinking is, oh my God, I can't wait to get to these kids, because I want them to be able to experience another adult in their life outside of the ones they already have experienced, that are willing to say some real shit to them in real time about some real things going on, and be able to bring, because one of the things that I do is that grief doula work, or that grief counseling, be able to bring that to the forefront, because we don't get to talk about those things. These are children, and these are parents in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who've never been afforded the opportunity to come to the table and say, my uncle used to touch me. And I never got to tell my mom because I didn't want her to lose her job or lose her, her livelihood behind it. We are, those of us in this room right now and those are listening, we are the trailblazers for the real healing in our communities, in our culture. And all we have to do is be willing to tell our story.
We the ones we've been waiting for.
That part.
That part. That's it. That's it.
That part.
And so I'm appreciative to every person at this table and every person in this room for just being willing to be vulnerable and transparent enough to just say some shit that they experienced in their life, because nobody else in our family is talking about these things. Nobody else in our family is saying, I never got to say or hear my mama say I love you until I said it to her first and got her acclimated to allowing those words to come through her mouth. Nobody else is saying that my mom never hugged me, because they're not thinking about that shit. All they're thinking about is what they did to survive and how they can pass that part on. But we are past just surviving. We are in the space of thriving and living a real life, and not just surviving to get to the next day. And so what the gift that we have in the opportunity to share our stories is to teach these children and some of our elders that your time to live and enjoy your life is
the new
right
old
now.
children.
They are the new old children. I like that.
I feel like my mother, she's 66 years old. God bless her. She been through a lot of shit. Shout out to Claudette and Claudette's Kitchen.
Shout out to
my mom had a 9th grade education. In Jamaica, 9th grade is the cutoff of free school. So if you want to go to 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, you got to pay for it like college. It's fucked up. So like, I understand why
she couldn't
give it to me. She didn't have all the tools. So that even in the moment that I just said earlier this week that when I was talking about this molestation thing, and she was like, why didn't you say anything? I was like, but at the same time I had to go, I have to parent my parents.
Come on, sis.
When I was a child, I didn't think I would have to grow up
and parent
my parents.
Yeah.
Nobody like prepared me for this shit.
That's one of the illest feelings.
To recognize that you got to parent your
to
parents.
just be with them at that atmosphere.
I wanted to grow up and let you give me some shit, and you can't give it to me. But you need what I have.
Yep.
So I got to give you more. It's heavy.
It's heavy. Listen, here's real quick before you.
I see you.
Real quick.
I see you. Listen,
because
he's
here's
feeling
the thing.
something. He's feeling.
Yeah. Because
Feel
here's
that,
the thing.
Heal.
If they were not who they were and didn't have what they have, we would not be who we were.
Okay. Definitely.
Facts.
It took for them to not have tools in their bag for us to be able to find the tools that we needed. To then in turn give it to them.
But we had to go fetch it because they couldn't give it to us.
And we would have never known to go fetch it if they didn't have it to give.
Yeah. So I was going to say, before we close.
Yes.
We are the new regime. We are the generational curse breakers. So will we expect anything less than the shit that we getting to give back to those who didn't have?
We well able.
That's it.
Yeah.
We well able.
We come from a different cloth.
And the cold part about it is we are cut from a different cloth. But you know whose back that cloth is on? Our parents who didn't have it.
And their parents who
didn't have it. Because we don't know our parents' full stories.
Yeah.
We don't know how
they won't tell it.
Yeah.
Listen, because they've never had the opportunity to ever be able to express it. They have purely lived in survival mode.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a chance to sit down with your parent and be like, how was a regular day at school?
Nah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit, I just went to school and came home.
Conversations that I've had over the phone when my dad is in jail.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about it all while I'm doing homework. So again, some of these parents have to be put in a place.
Yes.
Not to say that place had to be jail.
Yeah, not real shit.
But some parents have to be put in a corner.
Yes.
And you have to make them sit
ponder
in
it. I had an ex-boyfriend who said to me at 7 years old, he used to leave school early to run back to his house to check on his mom because his mom did drugs. And he knew that she was cooking drugs in the kitchen. And he needed to make sure that she was 7 years old. His mother stayed doing drugs until that man was in his 40s.
Yeah.
My mama started leaving me at home by myself when I was 4.
Listen.
So like our parents were fucking reckless.
They didn't have it.
Yeah.
Nobody taught
them.
They
were reckless.
They didn't. And sometimes it feels like we're giving them the easy route to say that I am forgiving and understanding of the space. But in reality, there is no easy route for a person who's never had the opportunity to process the things that we've been able to process.
We do have a privilege.
We have a privilege. And,
we do.
And our privilege is standing on the backs of our parents who didn't have the shit.
We are the byproduct of their wildest fucking dream.
The shit that they never thought that they could attain.
They wish they could. And thought maybe in the future,
have the tools.
And we're the future that they were imagining.
That's it.
We are
so
the
when
tools,
you think
though.
about those absent parents, you also have to realize they weren't absent by choice for most.
Yeah, real
for
talk.
most.
For
Yes.
most.
Real talk.
And realizing
Circumstantial absence.
Yeah.
Circumstantial
And we are the product of that circumstance. So in closing, in short, if you guys can, each one of y'all just say, how can we fix it in short? Resolution.
I would for sure say we need to have just time to listen.
There you go.
Just listen. Acknowledge and listen.
Message.
Shanga. Why you think about it, Mac?
Sometimes it's like, man, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Because like I said, listening to all y'all stories is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have mama.
Yeah.
I didn't have daddy. I didn't even knew that I was missing something.
Yeah.
Until I started to learn about what was missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Grandma.
Yeah. You know the blessing though, before I move to Shanga? Look at me. I like looking in the souls of people because this is God speaking.
Come on now.
The God body.
Come, Naman.
They got you though.
Yeah.
They had the missing link and they gave birth to it. So they have you.
And it's so hard being in that space of having to parent your parent.
I know.
Because I didn't meet them until I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
I didn't really start having moments with my mom until almost a year ago, and it was hard standing there to ask the question of, tell me what happened.
Yeah.
Because I know you can't.
Yeah.
Everybody else has attempted to, and everybody else has tried, but it ain't been the right story.
Yeah.
And going to the source, I know I'm still not gonna get it. Like even my daddy as well. We have the same damn birthday. I am him 25 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I asked him, and it's just like, I'm not going to get a clear picture because neither one of them are in there, right?
Yeah, they don't have it.
They don't have it.
You know what I'm saying? I never got to experience that. You know, I never knew that I was different until, like I said, I learned that I was different. Through other kids,
Thank you,
know
Grandma.
what I'm saying? What's a mommy? What's a daddy? What's a brother? What's a sister? Oh, I got those. I got that. Like, where? You know?
Yeah.
And like you said, thanks to Grandma, you know, and everything. But the village that I had, it was different.
Hey.
I mean, I guess because I got into a lot of trouble, or so they would say. So my village was different. They loved me to a degree, and then when it was time to discipline me, it turned into
got
some
real.
It
got to some
Now, let
real
me ask
nigga
you something.
shit.
time and time again with different people.
Yes.
And when you try to bring those things up into the futures, oh, I don't remember this, or I don't remember
Let me
that.
ask you something, Mac.
Ooh-wee.
What about your village now?
Man,
Think about that, Shanga.
Ain't nobody touching my village now.
Go ahead, Shanga.
Not nobody.
God is real. The Most High is
Why you
real.
gonna throw it to me when you say that?
Because I want him to think about
I can't
I want him
wait.
to sit in there.
I can't wait to be a parent. Oh, it's something that I've been looking for.
This is why I said that.
life.
That's why I said that.
My entire life.
Because
I'm like,
we're creating a
You
new
have so
regime.
much to give
Yes.
and so much to correct.
So
Yes.
much. So
right?
much.
You've learned
much.
so much, right?
So much.
You can give them everything you didn't have.
That's why I say everybody don't deserve your seed.
Plan on it.
Hello.
Man.
Hey.
No. That's a message. Come on. Shanga, come on before I start preaching, man.
Ooh, boy, you done already started over
That's
here,
why
man.
I'm
We gotta
muzzling
wrap it
myself.
up. We gotta wrap it up.
This is what I'm. First of all, I would like to just touch on what you said to Mac, because you said, "What about your village now?"
Come on. God is funny.
And
The Most High is funny as
that's why I don't subscribe to people who say that their God doesn't have a sense of humor.
that part.
Man, he
That
made
part.
me.
I don't know
he
that
got
God. I don't know that Most High. But the one thing that I do know is that love surpasses all the things that we've experienced.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for the fact that each one of us in this room has a different story, but we have made our way to this space,
Yeah.
shows you the love of God.
Oh.
Whatever name you so choose.
Yeah.
Testify.
For me to be able to sit here and hold Mac's hand while we talk about life experiences
Yeah.
is something that your average person walking down the street doesn't get to do.
Yes.
They don't know they friends like this. They don't know they village like this. So when you say, what about your village now? For me, even though my village wasn't as strained as other people's have been, I can say that the village that I have and that the village that I've connected with, that my children will be able to experience is something that I've never got to experience.
Yes.
Because they're going to get to come up with mothers and fathers with an S.
Come on.
There
now.
isn't going to be anybody around my children who my children don't view as a mother or a father
And
figure.
bonus parents that will
Come on
never,
now.
We've
never let you go
already
through what you went through.
created that
Brother.
within
Lead that.
ourselves. And so I'm
Lead that.
grateful for that.
Yeah.
And I know that if by chance, if by a slither of chance, my child experiences something that I didn't foresee them experiencing, and they feel like I cannot go to my mom, they got a Jade.
Come on.
They got a J Fifth.
Damn right.
They got a Tyree.
It's a roster.
Come
And I
on
know
now.
there is somebody in my village that they are going to feel connected enough
Man.
to
Yes.
that they can go to, which
Yes.
is something that I know we sitting
Come on.
at this table didn't have because I was a voiceless child.
Me
And
too.
that's what made me get into social work, because
too.
I said I'm going to be a voice for the children
Same.
who had no
Yeah.
voice.
I stuttered.
Man.
Did you stutter? Wow.
And look, everybody wants your ideas.
And now everybody
They
wants
want
to hear her
you
voice.
speak.
And everybody
They
keep
wanna
trying to
hear
be
her
like, okay, so
And
what are you
say
trying to say? And
exactly.
it's like, no, that's not what I'm
Exactly.
saying. Be patient. And I'm like, every consonant Like if I took the sentence, Mama, I want to go outside. It was mama. I
a stutter every word.
Want to
yes. Yes.
Go. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's a real life.
Like I stuttered till I was 14 years old.
Come on. Wow.
And can you believe that, again, we're not taught about these services that are free.
But now in my life, people pay me to talk.
Come on.
And I am a prolific fucking speaker now.
And the things that she's speaking about is changing the lives of children in the age range where her life was not able to be changed.
That part.
And that's why, hold me down, Most High. That's why I'm saying to my village,
hold you up.
Hold me up.
Come on. We gonna hold you down.
One thing that I learned.
No, not down.
We gonna
lift you up.
Yeah,
one thing that I learned was that I have access to people now that all I need to do is just say, I need some help.
Come on.
That's it.
Yeah.
All I have to do is be courageous enough to just say, I'm sad today.
It's so hard.
That's hard.
It's so hard.
It is.
It's so hard,
but so
easy at the same time.
Yeah.
And so a few weeks ago, I was really having a moment. And I sat in my house and I said, there's one or two ways this thing can go. I can sit here and try to wrestle this thing by myself.
Man.
Or I can just say, I got a village.
Yep.
So I jumped on my iPhone.
Okay.
With my voice text messaging.
Come on.
And I said, hey, y'all.
Yes.
I know all y'all don't know about the things that are going on in my life. But I'm sad. And today I'm struggling. My heart is heavy. And if y'all could just come out to my house and just gather around me so we could just laugh and talk like we get together, no work, you know, just talk about it.
Yeah.
That's all I really need. I've never in my life in 37 years did that.
Wow.
Wow.
It is the most expensive yet priceless gift that I could have ever given myself, because after that, from that day till now, those people in the text message, 1 or 2 or 3, said, Shanga, how you doing today, sis? I'm thinking about you. I read this and it made me think about you, and I figured let me send it to you.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I want to say in closing is I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the storyline that I've lived, because I lived that storyline and I made it to today. My children and your 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 children will never have to live that storyline again.
Shit, man.
And I'm grateful for that.
All praises. Yeah.
My family is changing because I'm changing, and my village is different because I have changed.
Yes.
Now, whether I never share my story again ever in life, the one thing I know is for certain that at any given time, I can reach for my village.
Man.
And whatever I didn't give, or whatever I didn't get from people around me, or whatever I was unable to give myself, people around me will give it to me.
They will pour into you.
A shame.
Yeah.
A shame.
Come on, Jade. Close us out.
In closing, I just want to say that, like, the key to our healing is opening your throat chakra.
Whoa.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Think about it.
But opening this, because we were choked as children.
Come on.
We weren't allowed to speak. Even when we were in pain.
Come on.
We weren't allowed to say we were in pain. We weren't, even our parents.
Yeah.
We're not
weren't allowed.
No,
so there's so much ancestral.
Yeah.
Shut up. Don't say nothing.
Yes.
Feel this pain, but don't say nothing. Shut up. Don't say nothing. And now we're able to be like, hold on.
I'm vomiting all this shit out.
Yeah.
This is why I tell people I curse in my meetings.
Come on.
I curse in professional spaces.
Yeah.
Because my ancestors said, you get to say the shit we couldn't say.
Come on.
That part.
Woo! When you were in spaces where I wanted to speak and I couldn't, you're there. Yep. So tell them, fuck that.
And shut that shit down.
Be like, nah, this some bullshit. Woo! And they're like,
with every fiber
Jade.
of your body. Yep.
It's a professional. No, nigga. This is
the professional
freedom.
standard.
This is fucking freedom, nigga. I'm loosening my tongue. I'm allowing my ancestors to use the tongue that was cut out they motherfucking throats.
Come on, Jade. To say some real shit.
Why do you talk like that? Why not?
Yeah, why not?
And who gonna fucking stop me? Because
I'm sitting.
It ain't the 1700s no more.
They're thinking
I'm
the same
gonna say
thing.
what the fuck I want to say, and you're gonna have to deal with it. So, in closing, I'm saying this is the healing that I give to Youth Justice Coalition.
Ashe.
This is what I bring to every meeting, every space.
Shout out to the youth.
Come on.
Big up to the youth them.
Yes.
Big up to the massive of the youth them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm saying that I because I'm able to speak freely.
Yes. Say
It
that.
gives other people permission.
Yes.
That part.
To speak
part.
freely.
Yes.
Facts.
Okay? So that's the value that I bring. Every time, like, what do you want to get out this meeting? Effective communication. I want people to be honest. I want people to say how they really fucking feel. And don't say that, because in the social justice world, it's like everybody says like the same little,
drop the same keywords.
I'll echo what Mac said. Or I'll echo what J Fifth said.
And more people need to understand, I didn't hire you to think like someone else.
Yes.
If you want to be a robot, go outside.
Then go, But I want you to come in here and speak your fucking truth,
because them youth is gonna call you. They gonna call it when they see that bullshit.
Okay. This is what I bring, and so in closing, if we want to really like heal generationally, we have to speak our truth.
Ashe.
Be honest.
Yeah, that part.
If you don't like some shit, don't be like, it's all right. It's like, no, that shit, that made me feel some kind of way.
There it is.
It did. Unless you say something. I live by this mantra, and I'm gonna close by this. Without confrontation, there is no resolution.
It's not.
Ashe.
It's not.
I'm not afraid to confront. Confront don't mean fight.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it
Confront is just like,
address.
Hey, sis, say, I just want to address it.
Yeah.
Sis, wait, what did you mean by when you said that? Because it sounded to me like you was, and when I say that, you're like, oh no, sis, I didn't mean it like that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I got some resolve.
Clarity.
But if I never said, hey, what you mean by that? If I was like, ooh, if I say that, she gonna think I want to fight. Nah.
I created a whole narrative that ain't even real.
You understand what me I say?
Yes.
Unspoken rules? Not
Be honest. Because if you don't speak your fucking honest to God truth, you're being disingenuous to yourself, and you're being fake.
Come on.
Not doing
You're fucking fake.
Come on.
And on that, I got to go.
Come on.
I got to go.
Hey, so with that, man.
The patio was blessed.
Beautiful.
Yes, it was.
It was blessed as
Change.
usual, as always.
Change is a verb. It's an action. Let's walk in that change.
Our beautiful queens, we thank you.
Shout out to
Yes,
the
we do.
ancestors
Thank
for
you.
coming
Jay.
all up in
Yes, we
here.
do.
Destiny.
Yeah. Thank you,
Jazz.
Mac.
We thank you.
We love y'all.
Yeah,
We love y'all.
For real.
We love y'all.
With all our heart, soul, and spirit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love the support.
Yes.
For real.
We love y'all.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yes.
Every time.
Every
See?
time.
Yes.
Bless up on ourselves.
Yes.
Yes.
We love you. Hear me, Jess? We love you.
Oh no, I love y'all too, more than y'all know it.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know it was 5,000 for the baby shower. Okay, but on that note, everybody. Hey, Patio Politics. Change is an action. It's a verb. Be about change and stop talking that shit.
Yeah.
Walk it like you talking. And on that note, we're gonna end like this. Patio Politics.
Hey, yo!